up, guys? So about a week ago or so, I posted a video of the 0 to 60 comparison on this 2012 CJAA TDI Golf DSG between stock and the KermaTune with no other changes, and I was very impressed with the difference. I went from an 8.01, which by the way I misspoke in the last video and said 8.08, but it was 8.01 to 6.60 0 to 60 on the same stretch of road, pretty well identical conditions. So picked up 1.41 seconds with nothing but the KermaTune. So I've had the tune on here about a week, put it through a bunch of different driving situations, and I'm even more impressed now. It's not just the full throttle stuff on this car, it's the part throttle stuff, and a lot of tuners, not just so much with the VWs, but just in general, like I have several 7.3s. A lot of tuners like to give a shallower pedal, so they'll skew the pedal scaler, so you're at 50% on the pedal, but it'll act like it's at like 70% to the ECU, and it gives you the feeling of having more power at part throttle. This tune isn't that way. The pedal is still extremely linear. As a matter of fact, that might be one of my only complaints about this tune, is it did not tune out the pedal lag. From about 0 to 15% throttle pedal position seems to be a bit of a dead spot on these cars, and that's a big complaint. A lot of guys will fix it with OBD11 or VAGCOM or something of that sort, which I need to do. Actually, my OBD11 setup is at the house right now, and I have a Rostec cable. I just haven't taken the time to do it. But anyway, so the part throttle stuff is great. I do not have a DSG tune. It does not seem to affect the DSG at all. The shift points are still the same. They're plenty quick enough. But I have noticed if you're flat out in drive in eco mode, there apparently is a torque limiter difference between eco mode and sport mode. So in eco mode, when you're flat out, you're making the same power. It seems like I'm hitting the torque limiter up in 5th and 6th gear, so 80 mile an hour plus. You can kind of feel the car cut out a little bit. I think it's hitting the torque limiter. It might be hitting the EGT limiter, but I don't think so, because it doesn't do it in sport mode. It only does it in eco mode. But the biggest thing, the main reason I bought the tune in the first place was for the fuel mileage. Before the tune, hand calculated, across 4 mountains, to and from work every day. I drive, it's about 125 mile round trip, and it's a mix of mountain driving, 2-lane road, and a little bit of interstate. I was averaging, hand calculated, 44.5 miles to the gallon. That was on the 2 tanks prior to tuning. After tuning, the MDIS display says that I'm getting about 57 miles to the gallon. Everybody knows that those are inaccurate, especially after you tune. But hand calculated, I'm getting 54 miles to the gallon. 54. That's almost 10 miles to the gallon more. I'm able to go 700 miles easy on a tank of fuel now. And my driving conditions are less than ideal for fuel mileage. So, again, very, very impressed with how this KermaTune has changed this car. The power is amazing. When I first got this car, I was a little disappointed. I mean, I knew what I was getting myself into. I bought it for fuel mileage, but I was a little disappointed. The car would be like a rocket out of the hole, 0 to 30. And then it would kind of fall off a little bit from 30 to 50. And then when it would go into 3rd gear, or 4th gear rather, it just fell flat on its face. I mean, foot through the freaking firewall, it seemed like this car just didn't want to do more than 80 mile an hour. Well, now with the KermaTune, when it catches that next gear at about 58 mile an hour, it actually sets you back in the seat again. It's like every gear it catches, it just pulls even harder. I find myself now, like when I pull out to pass people, passing zones that I would struggle to hit 75 to pass a car, I'm at over 100. And that's not an exaggeration in the least. So, if you're on the fence about getting a tune, I suggest getting a tune, period. I could not comment on other tuners' tunes, like, you know, Malone or Jeff Stevenson, or you know, some of the other more independent style tuners. I can't comment on that. This is the only tune that I know of. And I know a lot of people have had a lot of complaints with Charlie and his team. Like I said in my last video, my experience was great. They took care of me. They took care of me in a hurry, and everything seems good. Now, I've heard some rumors that the Kerma tunes are just rip-off of APR tunes, and that might be true. I don't know. I can't really comment on that. I have no evidence one way or the other. But if you're on the fence about tuning, definitely do it. The Kerma tune, I'm impressed with. I have a buddy at work who has a car very similar to this, and he swears by the Malone tuning. If you're going to delete the car, if you're going to delete the emissions equipment, definitely go with Malone, because Kerma does not do delete tunes. I did not actually find this out until after the fact. But I have plenty of warranty left on my emissions equipment, so it's not a big loss. But like I said, if you plan on keeping your emissions equipment, I feel like Kerma is probably the best at tuning them. If you're not going to keep your emissions equipment, I would go with Malone. The DSG tuning, I'd say Kerma's DSG tune is on point, especially if you match it with their engine tune. But I just don't have the $1,000 well, I have it. I more than have it. But I don't feel like paying $1,000 to rent a tuner, especially with some of the reviews I've read. I mean, my first experience was good, but you know, I'm a little worried I might not get my money back, and that's no bueno. So I'm probably going to go with an APR tune, because my local VW dealership that I drive by every day on the way to work is an APR dealer, so I'm probably going to go that route. But anyway, this video is getting a little long. If you like the content here, there's going to be plenty more VW content, plenty more 7.3 pulling drag racing, dirt drag racing, just total shenanigans content. So if you like that sort of thing, you know, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, get notifications for new videos. Nothing else, at least hit the like, leave a comment, let me know what's up. But anyway, if y'all have any questions, you know, drop a comment. I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you.